Brian asked me if I could define Armageddon. Well, I'm happy to give it a go, but it's not like it's the end of the world. Armageddon is a word that has worked its way from Revelation into our popular culture. And it's worth thinking first about what the word has come to mean and symbolize. One perfect example is the film Armageddon, released in 1998. A large asteroid is going to wipe out the Earth in 18 days' time, and NASA pulls together a far-fetched plan to divert its course. Enter Bruce Willis, who plays the hardened oil driller Harry Stamper. Stamper and the team land on the asteroid, but will they be able to divert it and prevent Armageddon? Self-sacrifice may be required. Great film, totally bonkers, but great film. Armageddon here is the fiery destruction of our world, played out in many other apocalyptic movies since then, such as 2012. And for people of my generation and above, Armageddon was often the word we reached for to describe a nuclear catastrophe, the end point of our mutually assured destruction. I still remember the peculiar dread of a history lesson at school on a day when someone had convinced us that nuclear warheads would rain down on England at 12 noon. I remember watching the minutes tick down to the end of the lesson. Alas, we had to finish the lesson instead. Revelation 16 pictures Armageddon as the place where the kings of the world are gathered together for a final decisive battle. But we need to know our Old Testament better to get to grips with the importance and significance of this place, Armageddon. In Hebrew, Har-Megiddo is on the southern side of the plain of Jezreel. It's the site of many important and decisive battles for God's people, such as when new king, the chaotic chariot driver Jehu, overcomes Jordan and Ahaziah, or the rebel king Josiah is shot with an arrow. Armageddon becomes proverbial as the place for decisive battles that could destroy kingdoms and dynasties, like a cross between Wembley Stadium and the Somme. In Revelation 16 and 17, we have some of the richest and most colourful imagery in the whole book. It definitely helps to look at it with a Bible commentary in your hands. We don't immediately recognize or understand some of this imagery, but we do more easily recognize that it has the ferocity and the built-in shortcuts of a modern political cartoon. Almost all of us understand what's going on in this recent cartoon of Boris welcoming the MP Chris Pincher into his government. But we also recognize that to explain the cartoon to someone from another culture, someone who hadn't grown up with Mr. Men books, would not be straightforward. The section of Revelation we're looking at today is, most immediately, about the overthrow of a corrupt, viciously anti-Jesus regime, the Roman Empire. Rome is caricatured as a rich woman sat on a scarlet beast. She's dressed in purple, the color of imperial power. She's given the name Babylon the Great, recalling Israel's suffering at the hands of Babylon in the Old Testament. This satirical, biting caricature freely acknowledges the power, influence, and devastating consequences of Rome's hatred of Jesus and the young church. But the caricature is saying that Rome is corrupt. Rome has grown fat on greed and injustice, and this will be its undoing, its downfall. The Roman Empire, which looked like a sledgehammer to crack the nut of the church, is laid bare as corrupt and already teetering into the abyss. The time will come when Europeans will call their dogs Nero and their children Peter. The time will come when Jesus brings justice. It will be decisive, public, and just.